Hey guys, so Malcolm here with another league racing video. As you can see, we're in Canada and I've qualified fourth. A great qualifying session, 1:13.7, one of the best of the season for me. So it's looking good here as we start the race. I can tell you afterwards that this was quite a depressing Grand Prix. But anyway, here we go. So lights are out and a fairly terrible start as Ben goes up my inside now. I try to leave plenty of space because I know this is my Grand Prix to lose. I'm quite quick in qualifying as I've demonstrated. And yeah, as we head towards turn 3, Esports with a totally reckless and unrealistic dive bomb, and as I slow down, the domino effect occurs as cars in behind clatter me into the barrier and I lose the entirety of my front wing. It was quite clear that he was not alongside me as I turned into the corner, so even though he said to me later that I should have left more space, if you look from his onboard, it's even worse, to be honest. To the end of lap 1, and quite a scary moment here as I forget to brake as I enter the pits, and thankfully for the ghosting system, it exists, otherwise I would have ruined my race and Ben's race in an instant. So coming in for prime tyres and a new front wing, and yeah, if you look at his onboard, he was definitely not even not even a piece of his car was alongside me. He was totally behind me as I entered the braking zone, as I entered and I was turning in. So yeah, mostly his fault there. And Panache actually retires from the race. Not really sure why, for no reason at all. Lap 3, and there's no reason whatsoever to retire from the race. So for the next 10 laps, nothing really happens, but as you can see, the gap's opened up from 6 seconds to 15 seconds from me to Esports. So at this moment, I'm dead last, and I desperately need something to happen in order for me to salvage my race. I'm showing no sign of even any pace at all to catch up to the car ahead. However, lap 14, Ardi destroys his vehicle, and I'm begging for a safety car at this point. And as we head to lap 15, a slight delay, but the safety car is deployed. He crashes into the wall of champions. In lap 15, the real pivotal moment of the race, I absolutely bottle it. What was I thinking going on option tyres? Well, my thought process at the time was that the prime tyres couldn't go 20 laps. It could probably go about 12 to 15 laps. And the option tyres probably about 10 laps. So I thought guys on the prime tyres were going to pit again for options. So I'd rather go option than prime option. However, this was a huge mistake. But at the end of lap 17, the safety car in, an even bigger mistake is Coutinho, who puts it into the wall of champions. His race is over, another position. So it's looking quite hopeful for me here as I enter lap 18. But yeah, in order for my strategy to work, for my extra stop strategy to work, I have to make my way through these guys because I need to get an extra pit stop to them. But I'm struggling. Lap 21, the gap from me to Esports is 1.4 seconds. He's on prime tyres. I have to pass him. Lap 22, we can see that 3 cars on the minimap are bunched together. They're going side by side into the last corner, which will not work, and Ben goes wide. I pick up 1 position there. And as we head on to lap 23, going side by side ahead of me, Esports and Solidarity into turn 1. They make contacts, but Esports does a beautiful switchback move, and look at them not giving each other an inch of space. And later in lap 23, you can see the gap from me to Solidarity ahead is 0.6 seconds or 0.4 seconds. But anyway, he's an option runner, I'm an option runner. We both need to make up time in order to make our strategy work. It's at this moment where I think to myself, the prime runners aren't pitting again and we have to pit. Lap 24, Solidarity makes a mistake and Esports pounces. And a controversial move as looks like Solidarity is weaving and Esports makes a rash dive bomb up the inside. He's probably fuming at this point, and as a result they both lose time. I make an adjustment to go onto option tyres because I think now is a good time to pit. However, it still looks like that I'm keeping up with Esports. So at this moment in time, I should have gone to the pits in hindsight, but I was keeping up with the prime runners, and I thought my options would be pretty much dead at this point. But I was keeping up, and because of the rate that I was not gaining as much as I would have wanted, I thought to myself, there's no point in pitting because that would completely wreck my race. Lap 29, you can see the gap is 1 second to Ape's Way. Lap 30, at the end of sector 2, 1.7 seconds. So I'm still keeping up. I thought at this point that for the earlier incident, lap 1, Apes would get a penalty probably for that. So all I was doing is not passing him. I just wanted to stay within 10 seconds of him. But my tyres are going all over the place now. It's sliding, it's like an ice rink. And as you will see, my tyres absolutely fall off the cliff. I can't do a single corner without sliding around. It's like an ice rink basically, and it was horrible. I had to nurse my tyres to the end. You can see a massive slide there. But crucially, I was still 3.4 seconds behind Apes Way, and I need to maintain that. But it's not looking hopeful here. Lap 34, I literally could not accelerate off corners. The wheel spin was that bad. The tyre wear was horrible. Yeah. And I cut the corner slightly because I needed to straighten my car because my tyres have no grip at this moment. And this next corner is causing me massive issues. I can't accelerate off it, and I nearly oversteer into Ben as he passes me. Thankfully, I do not have a massive collision with him. But this incident pretty much just sums up my race. Yeah. Solidarity was 5 seconds behind me. So all I had to do was negotiate that last chicane nicely, slowly, and get to the finish line, and I go and do that in the wall. I contemplated rage quitting, as you can see, and yeah, unfortunately I am turning into a bit of a laughing stock in this league. Quite embarrassing really, shown evidently by this race. With the 3 strongest competitors, Jose, Felipe and Panache, not finishing, a podium was well within reach today. So with those 3 guys not finishing, what a chance it was for a podium. A trophy finally, but in Spurs style fashion I screw it up. And a totally undeserved P6, and I dread to think where I'd finish if more people had turned up for the race. Should have been lower really.